All right, what is going on, guys? We've got 9 preseason games on today, so we are going to talk about each one of them, and then at the end, I'm going to give you my best bets, and we'll talk about maybe some parlays. So we'll throw a couple out there. So let's start with the first game on the slate today: the Commanders versus the Jets. So Jaden Daniels will be starting for Washington, and then we'll see a sprinkle of Marcus Mariota, Jeff Driscoll, and Sam Hartman. So should be interesting there for the Jets. Aaron Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor will not be playing. So QB1, QB2 out. That leaves the undrafted rookie Andrew Peasley and Adrian Martinez, who is coming from the UFL where he was, I think, MVP. So should be an interesting game. We'll see how Jaden Daniels does. Obviously, Mariota, Driscoll are vets, and then you've got Hartman, who is the rookie from Notre Dame. I like the Commanders in this one. I think they should get the job done. And then we'll talk about the over-under. So next game we've got is the Bears and the Bills. So we've got Caleb Williams. He is playing tonight, the number 1 overall pick. Will he have a good day? I don't know, but I'll tell you who I think will is Brett Rippon in the Hall of Fame game. This guy was outstanding, 166 yards with 3 TDs. He'll be also splitting time with Tyson Bagent. So yeah, we'll see. Bears won the Hall of Fame game 21-17 over the Texans. So yeah, should be an interesting one there. And then the Bills. The starters are expected to play, so they are probably going to get, I would say, probably 2 series or so. So the real question for me is, how is Josh Allen going to sync up with this new wide receiver group? So he's got Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, and Curtis Samuel. So he's got a kind of a brand new little gang of wide receivers. So we'll kind of have to see how he does. After him will be Mitch Trubisky. So if we look at what Trubisky did last preseason, played in 3 games, had 1 touchdown, 1 pick, so nothing special. I would say that just kind of sums up Trubisky's career. Nothing special. He's okay, serviceable. If we look at both of these coaches, they actually both have winning records in the preseason, but McDermott has a little bit better. It's 14-8 in preseason with the Bills. So, glean with that what you can. Next game, we've got the Raiders and the Vikings. So this should be an interesting one. So Vikings, Sam Darnold at the helm now. How will he kind of gel into this offensive scheme? I don't know. I would expect there's going to be growing pains for him. There should be growing pains for McCarthy. What I don't know is, so we'll see Darnold. And then I don't know if we're going to see McCarthy next or Nick Mullins. So it does kind of matter. But we should see those 3 and then Jaron Hall. So we've got a 4 QB mix. If Darnold plays, I don't know if it'll be much, right? Probably same 1 to 2 series type of deal. For the Raiders, that's kind of interesting. It's going to be Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell in the first half, and then I would assume Anthony Brown Jr. gets probably the entire second half, or maybe they throw Carter Bradley in there for just a little bit. I think the Raiders are going to do really good against the pass in this game. I think they will be really solid. Just in general throughout the year, I think we're going to see them be a really good pass defense. So, yeah, it should be an interesting game. Over-unders at 39.5, which is a little high in my opinion. But we'll see. I'm curious to see how the Raiders number 1 draft pick Brock Bowers does, tight end, and then obviously the number 1 for the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy. I don't have a lot of faith in McCarthy. I mean, I know he can hand the ball off. We learned that at Michigan, but we'll see what he can do in the NFL. So I'm not holding out a lot of hope on him. So we'll see. Next game, Packers at the Browns. So Jordan Love is not starting. So you've got Sean Clifford, the Penn State guy, and then Michael Pratt. You got 2 QBs that have never thrown a passing attempt. So there's that. Going up against the Browns, Deshaun Watson will not play. But if we look at the 3 QBs that will be playing for the Browns, I mean, they've got like 100 NFL games between them, probably more. You got Jameis Winston, Tyler Huntley, and Dorian Thompson-Robertson, or DTR. So really good experience there at the QB position. I just feel like this is going to end up being a blowout, but I guess we'll see. But man, just given the depth at QB and the lack of experience on the Packers' part, I don't see that going well. All right, we got the next game. The Bucks at the Bengals. My Bengals. Love my Bengals. Tampa Bay, most of their starters are not going to play. Maybe 2 or 3 will play one series. So they are taking a very different approach from the Bengals. The Bengals will play starters. Obviously, Jamar Chase will not play as he's in contract issues or whatever the hell's going on. But he will not be suiting up tonight. But we will see Burrow and the gang out there. And then after that, I don't know how much we'll see of Jake Browning. I think he has solidified his number 2 spot. He did a fantastic job last year replacing Burrow. And then behind him, you've got Logan Woodside and Rocky Lombardi. So not phenomenal. I'm hoping that Browning gets some time in as well. But for the Bucks, you got Kyle Trask starting. I mean, this guy was great at Florida. I actually had some expectations for this dude. He just hasn't lived up to it. And then behind him, John Wolford. Wolford played for the Rams a little bit when Stafford was hurt, and then their 4th QB is questionable. I don't think he's going to play, so don't have to worry much about that. A couple injuries on the Bucs side, but like I said, we're going to see a lot of third stringers. So this should be lopsided. In all likelihood, this should be very lopsided. Next game, Chiefs at the Jags. The Chiefs will not be playing most of their starters. Wentz will play a little bit, and then they're going to turn it over to Oladokun and Ian Book. So we'll have to see kind of how that looks. The Chiefs are real thin at defensive back on their depth chart. They're going to have 3 rookies playing safety, so the bulk of their snaps are going to be rookies. The Jags are definitely going to have a lot more starters than the Chiefs in that game. We've got we're not going to see Trevor Lawrence play in all likelihood, but we got Mac Jones and C.J. Beathard. I like Beathard. He's averaging like 117 yards a game last preseason. He had 7 TDs and 4 picks. So you got some experience there. I think Mac Jones is going to be the wild card. I'm hoping maybe a new environment kind of spurs him to elevate his game, but we'll have to see. I'd say definite quarterback advantage towards the Jags, the starter advantage towards the Jags. Curious to see how Brian Thomas Jr. does, the wide receiver from LSU tonight. And then on the Chiefs side, Xavier Worthy. Let's see that speed go into play. I think maybe throw him a couple deep balls, see what happens there. So we'll see what happens. It's the Chiefs, though. You never know, man. Next game, we've got the Niners and the Titans. So Niners preseason philosophy is pretty boring with Shanahan. Sticks to a very, very vanilla playbook during the preseason. Doesn't play them a whole lot. He just doesn't really care too much about preseason. It's just more trying out for the 3rd string, 2nd string guys. That's just how he looks at it. I'm really hoping that this running back Isaac Guerendo plays. I mean, there's a lot of buzz going on around him. So it'll be interesting to see if he's playing today, although I think he is questionable with like a shoulder injury, but hopefully he plays. And then their 1st round pick, their wide receiver out of Florida, Ricky Pearsall, is out with a shoulder injury. So we'll not see him tonight. On the other side of the ball, the Titans, they've got a new head coach coming from the Bengals. Callahan should be interesting, right? You lost Derrick Henry, picked up Tony Pollard. You've got some new receivers in Calvin Ridley and Tyler Boyd. So how do those offensive pieces tie in with Will Levis? Levis should see a series or 2. Then they'll turn it over to Mason Rudolph and then Malik Willis. So, quarterbacks, Niners are going to have Dobbs and Brandon Allen and then Tanner Mordecai. So Brandon Allen, Josh Dobbs obviously have experience. I just don't see the Niners getting up for this game, man. I think it's going to be, like I said, a very vanilla playbook. Shanahan doesn't really give a shit if they win or lose. I think Callahan's going to be coming in this trying to prove a point, right? He's first game with a new team. You got this new offensive weapons. You still got a young QB. So I think there's way more on the line for the Titans here today than the Niners. The Niners know who they are. They have their identity. Nothing to prove. All right, next game, Seahawks and the Chargers. Two new head coaches. I shouldn't say new, but two new coaches respective to their teams. Mike McDonald for the Seahawks and Jim Harbaugh for the Chargers. So Geno Smith for the Seahawks is out. He had a little bit of a injury scare, so I think just out of caution, I just don't see him playing today. So we'll see Sam Howell and PJ Walker, who are kind of fighting for that backup spot. If you watched football last year, you know Sam Howell is an absolute interception machine. So real good chance that he throws a pick today. Also some good chances he throws some TDs. So kind of a hit or miss guy for the Chargers. You know, Harbaugh, if we look at his past head coaching experience in the NFL, does not play starters much in preseason. I mean, just really is not a fan of playing them. You know, for the Chargers, we'll have to see what it looks like at running back, right? You've got Eckler gone. Gus Edwards has pretty much locked up the RB1 spot. So now they picked up J.K. Dobbins. Dobbins, it's the same story every year. Can he stay healthy? Wouldn't be shocked if he gets hurt and is out for the season. Second snap of the game today. So we'll have Dobbins, Vidal, and Isaiah Spiller will be the running backs for the Chargers. This should be. I don't like the Chargers QBs, right? Easton Stick, he had to play last year when Herbert got hurt. Not good. Then you got Max Dubin, you got Casey Ballman. Clear quarterback advantage for the Seahawks. I want to see what Zach Charbonnet does. I mean, they put a lot of faith into this guy. He had some flashes of brilliance last year, but overall, I would say not as good of a year as they had hoped. So I'm curious to see what he does tonight. I don't think we'll see a lot. I don't think we'll see Metcalf or Lockett or Jackson Smith. Right? We probably won't see those guys, but you've got some other decent dudes that are trying to vie for that, fourth wide receiver spot. So I like them tonight. I think Hal, PJ Walker, those are vets that have some good records in terms of getting things done. So they know what they're doing. So like I said, we'll be on Seattle for sure in that one. Last game on the card, Saints and Cards. Kind of an interesting game. Kyler Murray is out all preseason. Will not play a snap today. That said, Marvin Harrison's playing. Can't wait to watch him. I'm an Ohio State guy. So I loved watching Marv all last year. I think he's just going to have a wonderful NFL career. He'll have Desmond Ridder and Clayton Tune as the QBs. I like Desmond Ridder, Cincinnati guy. So obviously was with Atlanta last year. He's just got to find his form. He's got to be a little more accurate. Got to make better decisions. But they've got a clear QB advantage. I think Derek Carr will play a little bit, right, but not a ton. We're going to see a lot of rotating just because of injuries and things like that. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of familiarity. We've got Jake Hauner. I think he's Fresno State guy, second year in the league, really hasn't done anything special. Spencer Rattler out of South Carolina, rookie, and then technically Taysom Hill, but he's not really a quarterback. He's a quarterback, running back, tight end. He's just like a Swiss Army knife. We'll have to see. The Saints definitely have more vets on their team in terms of like preseason experience, but Saints are real thin at wide receiver right now, so there's going to be, like I said, a lot of rotations in and out of there. I like the Cards at plus money here. So we'll talk about kind of best bets and where I'm leaning there. So in the Commanders-Jets game, I like the under 34.5. I just think the Jets do what the Jets do, and they don't score, and they turn the ball over. It's just a play on who the QBs are. You've got an undrafted rookie and a guy that was playing in the UFL. Doesn't give me a ton of confidence. I think Jaden McDaniels does okay, right? He's a rookie. He's probably going to screw up many times. Mariota should do okay. He's a vet. Can use his legs if he needs to. Driscoll, pretty good. Hartman, we have no idea. Probably going to screw up a ton because he's a rookie. But I like Washington money line, or you take the under. I guess it's whatever value you're looking for there. And then Bears and Bills. I like the Bears, man. I know Josh Allen is going to play, right? 1 or 2 series. They will probably score. Don't trust Trubisky. Don't trust Shane Boucherly, or however you say his name. I think I think Williams does okay, right? There's a lot of hype here. He probably won't live up to it. But I think Bagent and Rippon do just fine. And I think they keep him in the game. Decent chance to win. You're giving me plus 130 to have a chance. I like it. Another bet I really like is both teams to score in the first quarter. I'm sure Allen drives them down there. They at least get a field goal. And then the Bears just need to get a field goal or something. So I actually really like that bet. And then the Raiders-Vikings game. I like the under here. Again, we've got Sam Darnold in the Vikings offense. He's going to be trying to learn that. And the Raiders QBs just suck. So that's pretty much just a play on bad QBs and learning new systems. So I really like that. But if I had to pick a winner, I would go Las Vegas. But I'm not paying minus 180 for the Raiders. All right, Packers-Browns. Again, Packers, Love's out. Their QB room's fucking terrible. Browns have 3 very experienced quarterbacks. I like them to just thump them today. So minus 5.5, I can deal with that. And then I guess it'll lean towards the under. But Browns minus 5.5 would be my first bet. Bucks-Bengals. This is kind of a multifaceted bet here that you can do. So it's the Bengals to score first and the Bengals to win. So combine that as plus 110. If you don't want to do that, I like the Bengals minus 6 as well. They should put a beat down on them today. So this shouldn't even really be much of a game if on paper, right? It's in Cincinnati too. All right, Chiefs-Jags. I like the Jags to win. I just don't see the Chiefs taking this game super serious. Like I said, the Jags have more on the line. They're out to prove something. They just want it more, and it's at home for them. So Jags money line for me there. You could do the minus 1. I just don't like that because you can tie in preseason, so it'd be kind of shitty to end up in a tie and then you lose. So I'll pay the juice. All right, Niners-Titans. I like Titans minus 5. Like I said, Shanahan doesn't really give a crap about preseason. This is just tryouts for second and third strings. Going to run a very vanilla playbook. You got a new coach in the Titans. We got all these new toys that he wants to play with. So I think we'll see some creative things happen tonight. They'll be aggressive. So I like them here. Seahawks-Chargers, same thing. I just don't like the Chargers QBs. I think they're just absolute dog shit. So I think Seattle minus 3 is a steal. Worst case, I think we push, right? It might just end up at 3 and we just push it. And then Saints Cards. I like the Cards there. So that's kind of where we're at in terms of parlays. I kind of put 3 down here for you. So you can do the Las Vegas, Minnesota under 39.5. Pair that with the Browns minus 5.5. That's plus 269. You can do Jags money line and then the Bengals. So I did the Bengals first score and Bengals money line one, or you could do the Bengals minus 6. It's going to be about the same. So right around plus 278. And then the last one, Titans minus 5, Seattle minus 3. Pair those two together, you get plus 261. So those are my preseason best bets. We'll have another video tomorrow. We got some more games. We're supposed to see Anthony Richardson playing tomorrow for the Colts, so that's kind of exciting. But if you liked the video, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let me know down in the comments section who your best bet is today, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.